In the Holy Qur'an, God speaks about the stages of man's embryonic development. We created man from an extract of clay, then we made him as a drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into alaqa, leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. Then we made this alaqa into a mudgha, a chewed substance. Chapter 23, verses 12 to 14. Literally, the Arabic word alaqa has three meanings: leech, suspended thing, and blood clot. In comparing a leech to an embryo in the alaqa stage, we find similarities between the two. Also, the embryo at this stage obtains nourishment from the blood of the mother, similar to the leech, which feeds on the blood of others. The second meaning of the word alaqa is a suspended thing. We can see in this diagram the suspension of an embryo during the alaqa stage in the womb of the mother. The third meaning of the word alaqa is blood clot. We can find that the external appearance of the embryo and its sacs during the alaqa stage is similar to that of a blood clot. This is due to the presence of relatively large amounts of blood present in the embryo during this stage. Also during this stage, the blood in the embryo does not circulate until the end of the third week. Thus, the embryo at this stage is like a clot of blood. The next stage mentioned in the verse is the mudgha stage. The Arabic word mudgha means chewed substance. If one were to take a piece of gum and chew it in his or her mouth, and then compare it with an embryo at the mudgha stage, we would conclude that the embryo at the mudgha stage is similar in appearance to the chewed substance. So the three meanings of the word alaqa corresponds accurately to the descriptions of the embryo at the alaqa stage.
The Qur'an on embryology. Professor Keith Moore is one of the world's prominent scientists in the fields of anatomy and embryology, and is the author of the book entitled The Developing Human, which has been translated into 8 languages. The book is considered a scientific reference work and was chosen by the Special Committee in the United States as the best book authorized by one person. Dr. Keith Moore is the professor of anatomy and cell biology at the University of Toronto in Toronto, Canada. In 1984, he received the most distinguished award presented in the field of anatomy in Canada, the JCB Grant Award from the Canadian Association of Anatomists. He has directed many international associations such as the Canadian and American Association of Anatomists and the Council of the Union of Biological Sciences. Let's now listen to what Professor Keith Moore has to say about the revelations found in the Qur'an 1400 years ago, and what science has only recently been able to find out through detailed investigation.
Intensive studies of the Qur'an and Hadith in the last 4 years have revealed a system for classifying human embryos that is amazing since it was recorded in the 7th century AD. Although Aristotle, the founder of the science of embryology, realized that chick embryos developed in stages from his studies of hen's eggs in the 4th century BC, he did not give any details about these stages. As far as it is known from the history of embryology, little was known about the staging and classification of human embryos until the 20th century. For this reason, the descriptions of the human embryo in the Quran cannot be based on scientific knowledge in the 7th century. The only reasonable conclusion is that these descriptions were revealed to Muhammad from God. He could not have known such details because he was an illiterate man with absolutely no scientific training.